The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. Step into the vast continent of Zemuria, where political intrigue simmers beneath everyday life, and you step into the shoes of Reen Schwartzer, a novice student at Thor's military academy. What begins as school rivalries and tactical drills spirals into an epic of class conflicts, ancient mysteries, and clashes between nobles and commoners. As the leader of the eclectic Class VI, a mix of privileged heirs and underdogs, you bond with characters so richly developed they feel like lifelong friends, each with backstories that weave into a broader narrative. The game combines turn-based combat with a strategic layer that rewards preparation and synergy, chain attacks and spectacular sequences, position allies on a grid for bonuses, and customize builds with orb mints that blend magic and technology. Exploration takes you through vibrant cities, misty forests, and imposing fortresses, where side activities like fishing or cooking deepen immersion in Erebonia's culture. Despite its masterful world-building and emotional moments, like heart-wrenching twists and field exercises that make you question loyalties, Trails of Cold Steel goes unnoticed. Its dense script demands commitment, and the interconnected lore can intimidate newcomers. But that's its charm, a slow-burn saga that rewards patience with moments that rival the best in the genre. With over 80 hours, it's proof of why JRPGs endure. Greedfall. Imagine a world where European explorers clash with indigenous mystics in a plague-ravaged paradise, and you step into the role of Desardet, a diplomat from the Old Continent arriving on the unspoiled island of Tirfrade. Here, settlers from rival factions vie for resources, while native tribes guard ancient secrets tied to a corrupting disease. Your mission? Navigate this cultural powder keg, forging pacts or igniting wars, while uncovering your fragmented heritage linked to the island's guardians. Greedfall's core shines in its choice-driven narrative, evoking the golden age of BioWare RPGs. Dialogue trees branch meaningfully, allowing you to play as a cunning negotiator, stealthy infiltrator, or brutal enforcer. Companion quests delve into personal struggles, a native warrior dealing with betrayal, a scholarly inventor haunted by loss, making every decision impact relationships and the island's fate. The world feels alive, with factions like the Rigid Bridge Alliance or Fervent Mission offering quests that explore colonialism's gray areas. Combat fuses real-time action with RPG depth. Dodge enemy strikes, unleash finishing combos, or use trap tactics for crowd control. Skill trees allow hybrid builds. Exploration rewards curiosity, from hidden grottos to bustling ports. Why underrated? It's from a smaller studio, Spiders, lacking AAA polish, but that raw ambition elevates it, a reflective take on exploitation and identity. With around 40 hours, it's the perfect length. Lost Odyssey. In a realm where magic fuels an industrial revolution, immortality isn't a gift, but a curse of eternal loss. You are Kaim Argonar, a 1,000-year-old warrior whose memories fade like smoke, hired as a mercenary in the war-torn nation of Ura. Alongside fellow immortals, each grappling with fragmented pasts, you unravel a conspiracy threatening the world, from golem factories to floating fortresses. Mortal allies, like a clever thief and a tormented princess, bring fleeting humanity, forcing reflection on what it means to live forever in a dying era. Lost Odyssey's soul lies in its narrative, penned by literary masters to evoke tears and wonder. The 1,000 Years of Dreams fragments, short tales of love, regret, and absurdity from your character's lost eras, strike like emotional lightning. The main plot builds revelations that reframe every loss, blending political machinations with metaphysical quests. Turn-based battles evoke Final Fantasy roots, but innovate with the ring system. Time inputs to boost attacks or heal on the fly, adding rhythm to strategy. Customize immortals with transferable skill rings, experimenting with elemental fusions. Exploration spans siege ships over deserts, underground labs, and dreamlike realms where reality bends. Created by Hironobu Sakaguchi, father of Final Fantasy, this Xbox exclusive remains overlooked. Load times and traditional design dated, but Nobuo Uematsu's soundtrack and visuals blending steampunk with ethereal beauty eclipse that. With 60 hours, it's a meditation on memory and mortality. Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning. Step into the vibrant tapestry of Amalur, a world where fate itself can be rewritten. You awaken as the Fateless One, resurrected in a war-torn realm where every soul's destiny is predetermined, except yours. Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning thrusts you into a conflict between immortal fae and mortal races, with gods and ancient magics pulling the strings. The story unfolds through a vibrant cast: cunning gnomes, stoic warriors, and mystic seers, tied to lore so rich it feels like a fantasy novel. What sets this RPG apart is its fluid, action-packed combat. Chain combos with swords, chakrams, or magic staffs, dodging like a warrior-mage hybrid. The Destiny system allows mixing warrior, rogue, and mage skills without rigid classes, creating builds from tanks to stealthy sorcerers. Exploration rewards curiosity, from golden fae glades to grim battlefields and cavernous ruins packed with secrets. Side quests like unraveling a cursed ballad or hunting mythical beasts rival the main plot. Despite its ambition, Amalur's launch was overshadowed by bigger names, and its studio's collapse buried its legacy. Some criticize its MMO-like quests, but the freedom in its 60-hour campaign with vibrant visuals and an epic soundtrack makes it a cult classic. If you crave a fantasy epic where your choices reshape fate, this is a beauty. Dragon's Dogma: Dark Arisen. In a genre full of polished heroes, Dragon's Dogma: Dark Arisen dares to be raw and ruthless. You are the Arisen, a warrior whose heart is stolen by a dragon, binding you to a cryptic prophecy. The land of Grancis is a brutal open world of plains, cursed ruins, and shadowy forests where danger lurks at every corner. Your journey to reclaim your heart pits you against mythical beasts, griffins, chimeras, and hydras in battles that feel like desperate hunts. Combat is the star, blending real-time action with tactical depth. Choose from vocations like Fighter, Mystic Knight, or Strider, each with distinct styles. Scale a Cyclops as a rogue, or blast foes with enchanted arrows. Your pawn companions, AI allies that learn from your tactics, add strategy, shouting tips, or sacrificing themselves for you. Exploration rewards bravery, with Nightfall turning paths into nightmares, and hidden dungeons like Bitter Black Isle offering brutal challenges. The story, though light, drips with existential weight, exploring cycles of sacrifice and defiance. Its rough edges, clunky menus, sparse fast travel frustrate, but fuel its charm, a 50-hour odyssey that feels like a living myth. Capcom's cult hit shines for its bold risks, delivering a dark fantasy RPG as unforgiving as it is unforgettable.
Tyranny. Most RPGs make you the hero. Tyranny flips the script. You're a fate binder, judge and enforcer for an evil overlord who has already conquered the world. In the Bronze Age-inspired land of Taradas, you wield Kyros's law, deciding the fates of rebels, allies, and entire regions. Your choices shape not just the story, but the power dynamics among rival factions, from the disciplined Scarlet Chorus to the pragmatic Disfavored. The narrative shines with moral ambiguity. Do you uphold tyranny, subvert it, or forge your own path? Tyranny's writing is razor-sharp, with every dialogue choice impacting reputation, alliances, or even magical abilities tied to your infamy. Companions, like the fiery mage Barak or cunning beast woman Verse, bring personal stakes to the chaos, their loyalty hinging on your actions. Combat blends real-time tactics with pauses, allowing chain spell combos or maneuvers, enhanced by a magic system where you craft spells from glyphs earned through deeds. The world feels alive, with war-torn cities and ancient ruins revealing lore. With 40 hours, it's concise yet replayable, as choices drastically alter outcomes. Its niche premise and lack of AAA flash kept it under the radar, but its bold take on power and consequence makes it essential. Citizen Sleeper. In a distant future, you're a sleeper, an artificial human with a decaying body and borrowed mind, fleeing corporate enslavement on a crumbling space station called the Eye. Citizen Sleeper blends raw cyberpunk with existential hope, letting you forge a life among outcasts, hackers, and dreamers. The narrative unfolds through text-based choices, where each cycle, day, forces tough decisions. Toil at a grueling job for stabilizers, befriend a street vendor, or risk everything for freedom. Your relationships with a grizzled mechanic or a child with big dreams feel profoundly human. The game merges RPG choices with dice mechanics. Each cycle, roll dice based on your condition, assigning them to tasks like hacking terminals or scavenging scrap. High dice yield better outcomes, but low ones can lead to debt or danger. Skill upgrades and station exploration, neon markets, derelict docks, open new paths, while clocks, or timers, track threats like corporate hunters or your body's decay. Its minimalist art and synth soundtrack amplify the mood, making every moment urgent. With 20 hours, it's shorter than most RPGs, but endlessly replayable. Overlooked for its indie roots, Citizen Sleeper reminds us RPGs can be about survival and connection as much as epic quests. Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. In the shadowy woods of 1695 New England, where Puritan zealots clash with untamed spirits, you step into the shoes of Red Mac Wraith, a sworn banisher to exorcise the restless dead. But fate twists cruelly when your lover Antia Duarte, a fierce fellow hunter, is struck down, her soul trapped as the very ghost you vowed to destroy. Together, in a bond defying the grave, you traverse the cursed settlement of New Eden, unraveling hauntings born of love, betrayal, and colonial greed. Each case forces a heart-wrenching choice: banish the specter for the living's sake, or curse it to fuel Antia's fragile resurrection, tipping the scales toward a greater nightmare corrupting the land. Dontnod's narrative prowess shines, weaving a tragic romance that grapples with grief's raw edges. Performances so visceral they linger like a chill wind. Investigation mechanics let you reconstruct spectral lore through clues, interrogations, and ritual circles, turning each settlement into a moral labyrinth. Combat combines third-person action with supernatural flair. Dodge ghostly assaults with pistol shots and blade flourishes, switch to Antia's ethereal form for spectral attacks and area blasts. Exploration spans misty marshes, rocky coasts, and haunted farms, dotted with side tales reinforcing the theme of letting go. With 30 hours, it's structured like a gothic novel. Overlooked among 2024's big releases, Banishers proves RPGs thrive on emotional impact, a poignant elegy for lost love. Shadow Hearts. Amid with fog of an alternate 1917 World War I, where zeppelins blot the sky and ancient evils stir beneath battlefields, you embody Yuri Hugo, a half-Japanese harmonixer cursed to fuse with malevolent demons at the cost of his soul. Hired to protect a plucky Romanian princess from a shadowy cult wielding forbidden magics, your odyssey takes you from European trenches to Asian-haunted shrines, clashing with vampire scientists, clockwork horrors, and godlike abominations. The story blends pulp adventure with cosmic dread, exploring prejudice, destiny, and war's madness through an eccentric cast: a sarcastic nun, a mustachioed strongman, and a fox spirit with a gambler's grin. Combat revolutionizes turns with the Judgment Ring, a spinning wheel where timing hits in sweet spots amplifies damage, heals, or triggers fusions, turning fights into rhythmic duels of precision and risk. Fuse Yuri into grotesque forms like a werewolf or shadowy reaper, but beware the creeping malice leading to insanity, mitigated by activities like consulting a gruff gravedigger. Exploration uncovers lore in ravaged cities and cursed manors, with airship travel unlocking global intrigue. Eclipsed by Final Fantasy X in 2001, Shadow Hearts blends light horror, alternate history flair, and innovation, creating a 50-hour epic as thrilling as terrifying. Its bold risks, grotesque transformations, satires of imperialism, make it a PS2 gem. Azure Dreams. Nestled in the scorching sands of Monsbaya, a desert town thriving on peril, you play as Ko, a bold youth following his father's legendary footsteps as a monster tamer. On your 15th birthday, you enter the Monster Tower, a procedurally generated monolith of endless floors teeming with beasts, treasures, and dangers, hatching eggs into loyal familiars that evolve through battles and bonds. But survival demands more than steal. Back at home, you spoils to court one of 7 fiery heroines, build shops and homes to turn the town into a bustling haven, while unraveling your father's disappearance and the tower's arcane whispers. This RPG roguelike hybrid innovates with real-time dungeons. Navigate shifting mazes in first-person view, fusing monster magic to your sword for elemental slashes or barriers, commanding familiars to flank foes or scout traps. Eggs yield quirky allies, like a fiery imp or armored golem, bred via a luck-based system, rewarding experimentation, though frustrating evolutions require grinding. The town sim adds warmth. Woo a baker for boosts or build a smithy for gear. With 40 hours of replayable chaos, Azure Dreams dazzles with its bold mashup. Turn-based sim meets action roguelike, though its 1997 PS1 roots and spotty localization doomed it to obscurity. Its vibrant sprites, catchy tunes, and addictive loop of taming, building, and romancing make it a pioneer. And there you have it, the full top 10. From Spectral Sorrows to Tower Trials, these RPGs remind us the genre's heart beats in its hidden corners. Which one will be next on your list? Share in the comments, like, and subscribe for more epic dives. Until the next adventure, keep gaming.